Hello and welcome to My Views and News. Welcome to this live chat session. Thank you for joining, viewers. Wandy McGagan is the first one who commented. Wandy McGagan Emmanuel says, welcome. Thank you, Wandy McGagan Emmanuel. LM Gizao, one of the members of the channel. Second one says, hello, welcome. On joining this live chat, Alam. Queen Sheba, hello Sajid. Is it cold in Pakistan? Yes, very cold. Ras Vaughan says, greetings, brothers. Queen Shiba says, greetings as well. Now, two very important developments in the last few hours by government media, Ethiopian state media reporting. Jumbled, Assalamu alaikum, Jumbled says, Assalamu alaikum from Gondar. I have been following you for a while at this point. I appreciate your reports and analysis. By the way, Jumbled, if you're from Gondar, please do contact me. A few friends from Gondar helped me a lot in covering when there was active fighting in Gondar. They provided me with real-time intelligence about the situation there. So I would like to get in touch with you. You can contact me. My email in each and every video description section mentioned, SAJID Sajid 67200@gmail.com. General Comsa commented to Batsara Vandim says, hi, Tadale Nigusi retracted his message. Two reports from Ethiopian state media, big claims by Ethiopian state media. How reliable, how credible are these claims about Fano and Ola? And why that two reports about Fano and Ola at the same time? Is government trying to create a balance? Does it want that it should not be seen as uh, against Fano only, that it is treating both the groups equally in an impartial manner when it comes to crushing them. Is the government treating the two groups equally? I have been speaking on that in several live chats. I spoke on that. The main brunt of the operation, military operation, is against Fano. It's not against Ola. Though some government-backed activists claim as if a large-scale operation against Ola is ongoing in Oromia, but practically main military operation in the form of ground offensives, in the form of airstrikes, in the form of drone strikes is ongoing in the Amhara region, not in Oromia. So we must be clear. No matter what government says, on the ground situation is clear. Government is focused on Amhara. It wants to crush Fano. But government tries to create impression. It tries to give impression as if it is treating both Ola and Fano equally with the same level of military operation against both of them. Peace and Love has joined, one of my regular viewers. Thank you for joining. Peace and Love. Thank you, Jumble. He says, I will happy to assist you, inshallah. Thank you, Jumble. Looking forward to your assistance. Your assistance matters a lot for me because you people help me correct a lot. I make corrections because that is how we keep ourselves updated. Correct updating is, I think, what we should work for. Uh, Abdi Boro says same action in West Guji also. What do you mean by same action? Do you mean that the same type of military operation against Ola is underway in Guji like we're seeing against Fano? Do you mean that? What is credit default means? Can you elaborate? Well, I'm not an economist, but Ethiopia owes to international community. It owes to several countries. In most cases, Ethiopia only paying interest. So if Ethiopia is unable to pay back loans, it means it is defaulting on its payments. That is what is happening, by the way. Ethiopia defaulted on Eurobond interest payments. Missed payment, yes, yes, Komso, you're right, missed payment. J3456, I just suggest you upgrade your workstation to improve your channel image and gain more viewers. Well, J, actually, I travel a lot, firstly. I have lots of engagement, so I cannot just pack and carry my studio everywhere. Secondly, I need a team. I know that a team of people who can accompany me, but I work day and night. It's difficult for one man to be with me all the time. And secondly, I think I focus more on content than on presentation. From day one, I've been focusing on content. Content matters more than how it is presented, I think. So I ensure that viewers are updated. I ensure that I am updated. I don't worry about the background of the video, etc. Maybe that is a hindrance to growing of this channel, but it is difficult for me to do all this while I'm alone working on this channel. LM Gizao says Oromo businessmen are supposedly behind the killing and fighting in Oromo PP. Any truth to that? I'll respond to it at In some coming videos, let me find out if I can find anything. But it seems to be an exaggeration, but let me verify more. I would like to verify it from the horse's mouth. Later, I'll come back to you. Maldini Paolo, do you think recent Air Force show is a response to the Egypt base established in Djibouti? Well, you can see it in different ways. You can see it as a response to the alliance formed in Sudan. You can say it is a response to some actions taken by government against UAE in the Horn of Africa. And you could link it to Egyptian military base, Air Force base in Somalia as well. You can see it in different ways, but basically, I think that UAE and Ethiopia are feeling left out of the Red Sea. They're not part of Red Sea Council, Red Sea Security Council, established 2 years ago. So they want to be relevant as well. And the two are on the same page when it comes to regional issues. So they are showing their unity, that when it comes to regional issues, they're united. They're on the same page. Overall, not a good sign for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. This collaboration will be constructive. It is not constructive. UAE is meddling with internal affairs of countries in this region. UAE is fueling conflicts, we can say that. Ethiopia should not be a junior partner to the UAE. Ethiopia obviously owes to the UAE because UAE helped Ethiopia in terms of provision of weapons when federal government was fighting against Tigray forces. So UAE is emerging as a key player in this region. Now, let me speak a little on the two developments which have happened in the last few hours. Firstly, Fano, then Ola. Ethiopian state media is reporting a few hours ago about Fano and Ola. Let's start from Fano. Fano was given a 7-day deadline to surrender. Deadline expired 48 hours ago, and Amhara regional government extended the deadline by 1 week. Before the expiry of this new deadline, according to Amhara government officials, thousands of Fano fighters have surrendered. Mangisha is a spokesperson of Amhara regional government. And he claimed a few hours ago that 5,200, more than 5,200 fighters from the Amhara region have surrendered. They have laid down arms, accepting the call for peace issued by the government. So within the last 10 days, when this call was made by the government, according to Mangisha, Amhara regional government spokesperson, more than 5,000 have surrendered. They have laid down arms. And they have been welcomed by regional government officials. They have been granted amnesty. Religious leaders are also helping these newly surrendered Fano fighters who have joined the camps, demobilization camps. In Dambia, near Gondar, more than 70 surrendered today, reported. In Gondar, around 500 surrendered. I am sharing what government is saying. So in Gondar, central Gondar, more than 500 surrendered. In total, 5,200 something have surrendered so far, according to the state media. So now, state media has shared a number. Now, the 5,000 have not been shown so far. So we don't know who they are. Are they actually Fano fighters? Or are they Fano sympathizers? Are they suspected of having links with Fano groups? Or have they surrendered? By the way, it is difficult for us to believe state media's reporting. Why? Because you saw what happened in the case of Tad and the Ola flag was shown, recovered from his house, weapons too. Even Prosperity Party member rejected the drama, saying it was a drama. And they said that Dania was being treated unfairly. If government can create a drama, make up story against Tadandia, obviously similar stories can be made up against Fano and Ola. We are waiting for the videos and pictures going to be released by government in coming days about these Fano fighters who have surrendered. After seeing videos, pictures will be able to conclude who these people are who have surrendered. And we must not forget that government has arrested thousands of people since the imposition of state of emergency. Who are these people? They are mainly uh, suspected of having links with Fano. They're from all walks of life. They're not just, it's not that they're trained Fano fighters. It would have been better had government shown when these Fano fighters surrendered. From which parts did they surrender? Which zones of the region? How did they surrender? Who welcomed them? I think all should have been recorded and shown to the people of Ethiopia. It has not happened so far. Rather, a number has been shared. Now, in coming days, thousands are going to be shown as Fano fighters who have surrendered. Are they really Fano fighters, or those people who are just civilians, but they were suspected of having links with Fano? That is what they were arrested, and now they're being shown as Fano fighters. So difficult to say. And by the way, let's suppose for a moment that 5,000 Fano fighters have surrendered. How many Fano fighters are operating in the Amhara region, by the way? Tens of thousands. Tens of thousands. Even if we suppose for a moment that 5,000 have surrendered, it does not mean that large number of Fano fighters have surrendered. Though we cannot say that 5,000 have surrendered, we'll have to verify. We'll have to see, we'll have to analyze government's reporting. But even if this claim is true, it does not mean that large number of Fano fighters have surrendered. The number of Fano fighters would be in tens of thousands, not just in a few thousand. So 5,000 number is not very impressive if it is correct. Let's wait. I think in coming hours we could see this number increase, and thousands are going to be shown as Fano fighters who have surrendered. Daniel Solomon says Fano is a major force now. The so-called Ola fought for about 50 years and only partially controlled a part of Valaga until now. No, Daniel. Ola is in control of large parts in Oromia. Oromia is a bigger region, obviously, than Amhara. They have their bases in Valaga, in central Oromia, in eastern Oromia, in southern Oromia. And I think Ola managed to survive despite military operations involving regional forces, involving federal forces, involving neighboring countries. Ola managed to survive. Can Fano survive? It's too early to say. Let's not compare Ola and Fano now. Ola has survived so many military operations. Fano are being tested for the first time while a major air campaign is underway. I think we'll be able to compare between Ola and Fano after a few months. Gizagan says Fano number is around 286,000. I don't know. I don't have such accurate numbers. Abudi says, has there been any genocide committed in Pakistan, Kashmir, maybe? Well, the propaganda which Ethiopian groups launch about genocide is launched by groups and countries across the world. So if Pakistanis say the genocide of Kashmiris is being committed, it's like Amharas say that the genocide is being committed, like Tigrayan said, like Ola said that Oromos are facing a genocide. I don't believe if someone says the genocide of Pakistan is being committed in Kashmir. Alex Awoke's question is important, saying, Saji, do you believe that Ola were under serious operation to stay survive? Ola has suffered some setbacks, but I think the uh, one operation last year was a major operation against Ola, I think, because before that, government made preparations. It talked to Kenyan government, it talked to South Sudan's government. Regional forces were involved too, and at some point, it felt as if Ola leaders were going to take refuge in neighboring countries. That was a major operation, I guess, I think. Command posts were established in different parts of the Oromia region, but somehow Ola managed to survive. And then we saw a resumption of fighting in Tigray. And after that, government's attention shifted to the Amhara region. Let's get some truth. How much does this war cost? Could the government collapse or slow down economically to the cost? Government won't collapse. Government will default. It won't change anything. Financial burden will be transferred to the people of Ethiopia. Yes, it is a hindrance to economic prosperity. Ethiopia could not gain access to Berbera port because of this war. Ethiopia was a partner, shareholder in building a Berbera port. But we saw that Ethiopia could not honor its financial commitment. The war has hurt Ethiopian economy, still hurting Ethiopian economy. The instability in the Amhara region is definitely hurting Ethiopian economy. And people are suffering because military spending is on the rise and government is not left with lots of money to spend on the people of Ethiopia. Is Fano talk with government still on the table? I don't think that there is any a sign of talks between the government and Fano. Simon Mibrato, do you think RSF moved towards Port Sudan? I think RSF has taken control of Wad Madani in Jazeera state. So it might move towards southern Sudan, towards Giddaraf, towards Ethiopian border. Later, it will make a move towards Port Sudan too. I think RSF is sweeping across the country. And Sudanese military is under serious pressure. Now, military's allies are calling for the removal of Al Burhan. Al Burhan has lost the grip. Rapid support forces are operating independently without any allies. They don't need any allies. Military is working in collaboration with allies. Even those allies are not happy with Burhan. Burhan's forces are losing ground. Sooner or later, I think RSF will make a move towards Port Sudan too. But before that, I think RSF might move towards Gidara. But let's see. Now, second update for you. Thank you, Une Musica, saying Sajid, keep up the good work. Michael Kidane, hi Sajid, did you read the American integrated country strategy from 3 days, and what is your opinion? I did not read that. Maybe I read that, but I don't know the name you mentioned, title you mentioned. Could you share that to my email, the link? Uh, Now, Ola, while the government today claimed that more than 5,000 Fano fighters have surrendered, Mangisha claimed, Amhara regional government spokesperson. Then Arega Kabede spoke as well, who is Amhara regional president. He said large number of uh, fighters in the region have surrendered. At the same time, state media shared pictures of some men, young men from Rome. Ethiopian state media today claimed just an hour ago that Ola fighters surrendered, and government showed some pictures. The pictures show thousands of Ola fighters, according to the government. The government claims that these Ola members surrendered in recent months or years, though no date has been mentioned. They underwent some training. They joined rehabilitation camps. And from tomorrow, these Ola members are going to be reintegrated into the society because the Ola members have completed their reformation training. After these pictures were released, I talked to the people in Ola or close to Ola that what is Ola's position. And I analyzed the pictures too, shared by Ethiopian state media. State media has not shared pictures of 5,000 Fano fighters so far. It has shared pictures of thousands of Ola members, several hundred, or you can say thousands, several hundred, perhaps the right number. The pictures show some young Oromo men, but it seems that they have been in prison for a long time. They don't seem to be active members of the Oromo Liberation Army. When did this surrender? Where did this surrender? No detail shared by the government. Government says that Abagadas, traditional Oromo elders, mediated, and they asked these Ola fighters to surrender, who have surrendered, who have now decided to work for peace. After talks to some people on the ground, I have been able to confirm that those who are being shown as Ola members are basically civilians who were suspected of having links with the Oromo Liberation Army, and they were arrested. Arrests were made this year, last year, to mainly this year. And I think those who are following the developments in Oromian, they know that after Hachalo's murder, tens of thousands of people were arrested. KO movement was disbanded by government. Jawar was arrested. OLF leaders still in prison. Java released. OLF leaders still in prison. PM Abiy's government disbanded KO movement. And thousands are still in prison, suspected of having links with the Oromo Liberation Army, with Oromo Liberation Front. What I have learned, if I am not wrong, is that these are not active combatants. They're not OLA members. They were suspected of having links with the Oromo Liberation Army, arrested in recent months, and now they're being shown as OLA members. That is what I have learned. And same could happen in the case of Fano fighters. Government might show those who were arrested in the past few months suspected of having links with Fano as active Fano fighters. So I think pictures will help us in concluding who the surrendered people are. Are they Fano fighters, or just Amhara youth suspected of having links with Fano? So waiting for pictures of Fano, but we have received pictures of OLA members who seem to be who don't seem to be active OLA fighters. Do you think Gilmaro can get back to Eastern Oromia? By the way, Maro's return is turning into a mystery. I'm still in touch with the people, trying to get some solid information about Maro's whereabouts, Tomsa Dereba's whereabouts. I'll let you know once I have reliable information. Let's get some truth. Is there any risk of balkanization in Ethiopia? How can Abiy win against Fano? I don't see Ethiopia split, by the way. One Africa, it's so obvious that even a potato could figure out that Eritrea and Egypt are the secret sauce in Ethiopia's conflict recipe. But Ethiopia does not need any outsiders to have conflicts on its soil. Even if, suppose for a minute that Eritrea and Egypt are on good terms with Ethiopia, will it end all the conflicts in Ethiopia? No, it won't end. Conflicts are embedded in the power struggle between groups and individuals in Ethiopia. And let's not uh, externalize the internal conflicts in Ethiopia. Ethiopians have themselves to blame when it comes to conflict in the country. Johnny B claims Maro is in Eritrea in prison, of course. Skandar was in Eritrea a few days ago. We heard rumors. So people can say anything, but I cannot say that without any credible information verification. Anga satisfy. I found you share credible information. Thank you, Angasa. Try to verify things. Komsa says Burhan, RSF is the new government in Sudan. Burhan is finished. Well, main problem for RSF is recognition, regional recognition, international recognition. Sudan is still being represented by Al Burhan, not by Hamati. Johannes says Maro is already back to Vallaga headquarters. Okay, if you're saying that I'm sharing that. Mary, I love you, Saji. Do you think Abi wins Ola Fano Irritians by war? I love you too, Mary. And Abi cannot win all these parties by war, by the way, simultaneously. So far, Abi is focused on crushing Fano. Later, Ola's turn, maybe. War against Eritrea are not imminent, I think. Hard nut to crack. Eritrea could be a hard nut to crack for Abi, I think. Ebenezer says, what is the difference between Winglong and a Kinji? Big difference. Even between Winglong and TB2, there is a big difference. I think TB2 is more precise than Winglong, and a Kinji is very modern. So no comparison between Winglong and a Kinji. Winglong won. Malimo said there'll be more false claims by Abiy Ahmed regime. This type of claim is the result of desperate wish. Abiy's genocide regime forces are in serious defeat in East Guji zone. What is the state of Ethiopian military compared to pre-Tigray war? Well, people say as if Ethiopian military has collapsed, that it has suffered irreparable losses. It did suffer losses in the 2 year long war. Uh, Thousands were taken prisoner by TDF members. But I think ENDF is more equipped today than it was in 2019, 2020. ENDF is more battle hardened than it was in 2019. ENDF generals more seasoned now than they were in 2019. ENDF and EDF fought alongside against EDF. So ENDF learned a lot from EDF too. And ENDF has learned a lot in the past 2 years. So, so, so if we say that ENDF has totally collapsed, I wouldn't agree with that. Josiah says, as of your analysis, I think you don't understand Ethiopian government's game against anti-groups, especially Fano. I share my understanding with you, how I understand the government's position, what Fano is doing. Based on my sources, I share my understanding with you. Maybe I'm not uh, right. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. Where am I making mistakes? Yodit says, Sajid, after all, how do you see the reality of the statement issued by Amhara PP about Fano's surrender? I told you that this statement is not very convincing. The government should have recorded the surrendering of Fano fighters. They should have recorded videos so that these claims could be substantiated. Government's reporting cannot be trusted, keeping in view what government did to Tanzania and on some other occasions too. You know what happened when Ethiopian political parties announced to hold a rally in Addis Ababa, and government declared that the rally participants were terrorists. They were facilitating the entry of terrorists into the capital city, and that weapons had been recovered, and that a conspiracy had been foiled by security forces in Addis Ababa. The government can claim anything. Can the IDPs return to Volkayet on individual basis, or does TPLF have to administer this? Alim says. I did not get your question. TPLF wants return of IDPs to Volkayet, but it also wants to ensure that IDPs are protected. So it wants ENDF to be in charge in Volkayet. It wants zonal interim government to be dismantled before the start of return of IDPs. Ebenezer, can Ethiopia get back Al Fashaga if RSF is successful in the southern direction? What is in this alliance for Ethiopia? RSF Ethiopia alliance. Obviously, Ethiopia would be hoping to get something. If Ethiopia is ready to host RSF leaders, RSF accounts, RSF exports, obviously, Ethiopia would like to have something in return. And that something could be Al Fashaga too. Anbisa says Abiy is not the main problem in Ethiopia. The Amhara elites are the main problem. Well, I think that removal of one man or one group is not a solution. Abiy's removal won't change anything in Ethiopia. That is how I believe. Though, by the way, both want removal of Abiy, both Ola and Fano. Fano fighters are publicly saying they want to remove the prime minister, they want to remove the government. Ola fighters too, in their private conversations, they say that no change can be brought about in Ethiopia until and unless Abiy is there. So they're also demanding removal of the prime minister of Ethiopia, PM Abiy. It's difficult for me to understand that, by the way, because Abiy is not one man. Abiy's policies are not one man's policies. With Abiy, behind Abiy, there is entire ruling elite structure. So removal of Abiy won't bring about any change. For a change, there needs to be broad reconciliation and negotiation involving all the stakeholders in Ethiopia. Alim, yes, some businessmen could be part of this structure, but if we say that only businessmen are running the country, that would be exaggeration, I think. There are so many players in Ethiopia now. Biniam, is Fano collaborating with the Sudanese military? No, I don't have any information about this collaboration. Fano could be buying weapons from Sudanese soil because their armed smugglers are operating. I'm not aware of any active military cooperation between Sudan military and Fano fighters. Is Eritrean military stronger after the Tigray war? Ephraim is asking. I'll respond to it in some video, Ephraim, I promise. So Dallas says, I like your overall situation report. Can you bring it back? Okay, I'll give it a try. Why, GD, sir? Why do you waste your time? Who is wasting the time here? The one who is asking me? Benium, can Fano find any anti-drone options? What's the price range for those? No possibility. ADF could not get any anti-drone weapon. And I have explained in several videos, these types of drones, the Kinjis and TB2s cannot be hit from the ground. There are no effective anti-drone weapons which can be used to hit these drones, which fly very high in the air. Johnny B. Sajid, you talk too much bullshit today. That is what you always say, by the way, Johnny. Maldini Paolo just add some charts and graphs to show the development of situation. Will you help me, Maldini, in making these charts and graphs? YGD, are you drone technical specialist? Well, you can challenge my opinion. If you have a better answer, you are free to comment here. But I told you, based on my experience of covering conflicts. Horn of Africa Information says, thank you for your priceless service. Welcome, Horn of Africa Information. Thank you. It was 49 minutes have passed. I think we should end this live chat session. Sibho, Saji, do you think Russia is a common denominator in Ethiopia Eritrea relations? Well, it depends upon what type of role Russia would like to play. can we say that Russia could play the role of a bridge between the two countries? It's too early to say, uh, and it depends upon the nature of Russia, Ethiopia, Russia, Eritrea relations too. Eritrea is closer to Russia uh, than Ethiopia is to Russia. Ethiopia is looking in so many different ways to find a support that it becomes difficult how to categorize Ethiopia. Is Ethiopia a Russian ally, a Chinese ally, or a Western ally? Ethiopia wants financial assistance from IMF, from World Bank. At the same time, it wants to have closer ties with Russia too. I think Eritrea is very clear regarding its foreign policy. Ethiopian foreign policy is not very clear. That is why it is difficult to say how Russia is going to behave when it comes to Ethiopia Eritrea relations. Thank you, viewers, for joining this wonderful live chat session. I tried to respond to your questions and comments. We talked about the state media reporting, Ola, Fano, groups are being shown as if they're surrendering. Thousands have surrendered according to Ethiopian state media. State media's reports are not reliable. The Ola members shown today by the state media are not Ola members. They are suspects. They were suspected of having links with Ola, arrested in recent months, and now they're being shown as Ola members. We're waiting for the pictures of Fano fighters. After the release of pictures, we'll be able to see who these men are. Are they active Fano fighters or civilians suspected of having links with Fano? That remains to be seen. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow at the same time. Another live chat session. Stay blessed. Bye bye.